This is it, the penultimate Dev Diary deep dive with me, Biffa, on the subject of sound and music. If you want to see more Cities Skylines 2 videos, don't forget this coming Friday the 8th, we're going to have some proper gameplay footage from me to you. So subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on that. Right, let's dive into the video and see what we can learn about the sound and the music. Okay, here we go. Oh, the game looks fantastic, doesn't it?
The sounds of the city. Inspiring. Exciting. Annoying.
Annoying? Don't tell me. The seagulls are back. I suppose we'll find out.
In Cities Skylines 2, a rich and dynamic soundscape brings your city to life.
Oh, just every time I see shots like this is New Dollarton again, isn't it? I'm like, oh, look at the game. It's just the shadows and the light and everything just makes it look brilliant. I'm loving it.
What would a city be without the hum of traffic and people?
Look at all those bikes. Everybody's driving red, a couple of black Harley bikes all parked in a row there. Looking at the people are looking much better. I think they might have slightly improved the people since we saw them last time.
To ratchet up the realism of Cities Skylines 2, vehicles, people, and animals add to the audio mix. Cars even sound different depending on how fast they're going, while sirens match the European or North American theme of your city.
Now, I think that's really good. I've enjoyed that. I'm testing building a city, and it's a European themed city, and it's nice to hear the European, what we've got in England, sounds, all the sirens and everything.
Click on a person and you'll hear an audio cue that
I hadn't actually noticed this, whether this has just been added in. We had a little update on the game the other day, whether it's just been added in or not. I hadn't noticed that, but I like that.
expresses their
It's like The Sims, isn't it? They did that.
age, gender, and mood. Even animals will have something to say when you click.
Oh, we can name the animals. That dog was called Stella. We can name the animals.
Almost all city service buildings have sounds related to their function and operational status. These sounds can change with the time of the day, the outside temperature, and when it's extended or upgraded.
Yeah, this new sort of dynamic changing of the sound, I'll be honest, I hadn't noticed it, but that's not because it's not there. It's because I really wasn't listening for it. When you sort of, I'm playing the game, I'm trying to learn it so I can make a really cool video for you on Friday, because I haven't made it yet, although I would have started by the time you see this video. But after watching what we're watching together now, I went back and just put the game on and flew around. And the dynamic sounds are absolutely fantastic. I'll talk about the music a bit more in a minute. I love the music, but yeah, dynamic sounds is fantastic.
Layering sound loops with distinctive audio spots, city service buildings add variation and texture to the city's soundscape. Ambient sounds are more than background audio. They follow the camera, changing according to whatever you're looking at. Move from one zone type to another, the ambient sounds change.
Yeah, a bit hard to hear with the talking over the top, obviously, but we'll get more to this as you can see more gameplay and things like that. But yeah, definitely, it's something I've noticed now. You don't notice the loop sort of going round, which you get that on Cities Skylines 1 for certain things. You just get the same loop over and over and over again. But now it seems the way the music's done, it's a lot more. Where the sounds are done, a lot more in depth, which is great.
When bad weather blows in, the ambient sounds change. As an emergency unfolds, the ambient sounds change. There are 2 radio networks in Cities Skylines 2. Each network features a few stations playing music from different genres. Stations have hosts who talk between songs and anchor the talk show if there is one.
Now, I quite like that. You can see in the bottom corner there, enable or disable radio ads, which is good because I tend to sort of keep it on because I want to listen to everything. I'm learning the game. But I'm loving these, I think it's 4 different radio stations altogether. One has got more ads and doesn't have any warnings, and one has all the warnings and has less ads, something along those lines. But the warnings are very, very handy because once you start building a bigger city, And you get this in Cities Skylines 1 anyway. You're working on your bit of city over here on this little island. You forget about this bit of city over here. Suddenly a warning will pop up and it will slide out from the side of the screen, and it will be like an announcement on the radio. There's wildfires, there's a tornado or something. And you go, ugh, and you can click the button and zoom straight to it. So yeah, it is actually really helpful as well.
Public citizen radio stations mostly play classical music, but there's a little pop in there too. The best part is these stations are ad-free.
They're relaxing as well. I like this one. Smooth.
Radio stations do more than entertain you. They're designed to deliver news and information about what's happening in your city. These fact-based announcements can help you address critical situations before they get out of hand.
I think I was just saying about that.
Of course, that includes disaster alerts. Whatever's playing on the radio will be interrupted if disaster strikes.
All citizens in the affected area are instructed to immediately move to a safe distance until the situation is under control.
And that is really handy. I haven't built this yet.
If you've built
That's
an early
Sputnik on the top.
disaster warning system building. To avoid overwhelming you with too many sounds at once, Cities Skylines 2 uses audio grouping. This system accounts for the distance and number of sound sources relative to the camera. Then it reduces the number of potential audio sources activating simultaneously.
Is it me, or was the game looking a little bit better here? I'm looking at the details on the buildings and thinking things are looking a little bit sharper. Maybe it's just the angle and the shadows make a huge difference. But yeah, what they're saying about the audio and the grouping, I've never felt overwhelmed by too many sounds going on. Even, it's great, like you get a big traffic. I've had an accident and a traffic jam all the way down the road, and I'm zooming in, and as you go along, you get the different sounds for the different types of vehicles and the buses and the growling of the engines. There's all sorts of different sounds, but it's never too much, which is good.
It also switches between close and distant sounds. So traffic on a busy highway miles away doesn't sound as close as that police cruiser speeding past. The immersive audio of Cities Skylines 2 is designed to enrich your city building experience.
And it does.
Embrace it.
I do.
And lose yourself
I
in
have.
the world of your imagination.
I'm doing my best. Excellent. Right, so now we're going to dive back to last Thursday's Dev Diary, looking at the citizen simulation, and there is a little bit more information in this that we can
Today we're
look
going
at as
to talk
well.
about citizens.
I definitely think they've been changed and upgraded, obviously from the older videos, but even from what we saw last week, there's a few little tweaks and things that have come in, which is good. I think this was the playground.
How am I going to put my hands like?
I love the way these guys are all
These guys
getting
too.
more relaxed as time goes on.
Yeah, maybe I can be just like this. Yeah. In the game, you can select a citizen and then click their panel to follow that.
Yeah, they're swinging their arms now, which is something they weren't really doing before. So that's interesting to see. And of course, we've got the following thing. I've been asked how many people can you follow at once. I've sort of followed a few, but I haven't made a concerted effort to try and see how many I can follow at once. There doesn't seem to be an end to the list. Let's put it that way. And also, because of the way the timing and the years and the ages work, they stick around for a long time.
Citizen. The citizen is then added to the life path journal, and the journal tracks their life and records the main events in each of the tracked citizens' lives. These can be finding a new job, or moving to a new place, or finding that special someone.
I know someone's going to mention it, the sort of smeariness of the graphics a few points in this video. Don't forget, it's all still beta gameplay. There's been a lot of updates to the game over the past couple of weeks. I mentioned that before. Sort of every week they were doing one, and there's been a few others, and creators now are getting ready to release their video. There's been other updates, so lots of things have been changing with how things work and everything. So yeah, don't worry too much about that.
While happiness was an important aspect in Cities Skylines 1, we have greatly improved on.
They look like they're doing. Look at their steps as well. Let's just go back. It looks like their gate has
Cities
changed.
Skylines 1, we have greatly improved.
Yeah, different
on it
speed,
in
which
Cities
is
Skylines
good.
2. Happiness is made of the citizens' well-being and health. Well-being is affected by the availability of basic services. It is also affected by the crime rate of the city. Health, on the other hand, is affected by healthcare and its availability, as well as the amount of different types of pollutions that are around the citizens.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that well-being. That's one of the things you'll get quite often. What I've found is you'll get nice city called Hope with 60 million in the bank, 100,000 citizens. Very good. You'll get a city that will a house that will say they've moved out, the house is empty, and you'll wonder why. So all you got to do is look at the neighbour, and then you'll get the list of what it is they're happy or unhappy about, and it might be they're not quite at the same level of losing their well-being, so you can sort of tell. So that well-being thing really helps, because then you'll go, look, it's got -15 in red on the police coverage, so then you can sort of fix the problem. So that well-being is really worth keeping an eye on, and it does help a lot.
Citizens can also become sick or injured in an accident or a disaster, such as a building collapse or a tornado.
I had a fire in my university the other day. I don't know how many people were in it at the time, but the hearses were queued round the block.
Citizens are divided into 4 age groups. These are children, teens, adults, and seniors. Households can comprise different types of citizens. Some can be just single adults, while others are a couple.
Oh, that was it there. We just saw it then, didn't we?
Single adults, while others...
That thing there. Yeah, this here. Really, really helpful to keep an eye on this in various places around your city. Also, the fact that people stick around your city a lot longer, it's going to be interesting to see once you've got to a certain stage and... your population is getting older. I've not seen any death waves yet. I think that's obviously been sort of balanced out. But yeah, interesting to see how the evolution of your city and the age of people all plays together as well.
Are a couple. There can also be families with children, and there can also be multi-generational households, which includes children, parents, and their grandparents. Also, you are all super excited to hear that the chirper is back.
Oh, yes.
The chirper shows you the chirps from the citizens as well as businesses and city services. Especially those of the citizens are important in that they will show you what's happening in the city and how the citizens feel about it.
And that is really good, because I think he's going to say in a minute, the more people that like a chirp, it's a big problem. And again, you will be using those around your city to solve problems before they get too bad.
They can send positive or negative chirps. And if you look at the like ratio on the chirp, you can kind of sense whether that subject matter is important to the citizens or not.
Yeah, that one that just said at the top there, no housing available. This one here, anyone else notices there's no housing available anywhere. I've had that a few times. So it's somebody that wants to move in, but they've got nowhere to live, which is interesting because that's sort of a different mechanic from Cities Skylines 1, where nothing would happen until you zoned, and then people would say, oh yeah, we'll move in. You used to wait for people to move in, didn't you? So now you zone, there's already people waiting to move in. So slightly different thing to keep in mind.
Matter is important to the citizens or not. And, well, it started as a bug, but we liked it so much that you can actually like the chirps yourself as the mayor.
That as far as I know, that doesn't actually do anything. It doesn't save them in a list or do anything, but it's just, yeah, like you said, a bug they've kept.
In the game, we feature 5 different levels of education. These are uneducated, poorly educated, educated, well-educated, and highly educated. And each of these education levels is matched with a school. Each citizen from teenager onwards decide whether they go to school or a job based on the potential wage they will gain in the future in a high-educated job compared to the wage that they will earn if they go now to a low-educated job.
So that's quite interesting, because you don't have to have all the different education buildings, the college and the university. You can even, I think, if I'm right, skip the college. I'm not 100% sure on that. But yeah, you obviously need the elementary and the high school. Then this is the college, this is the university. It hasn't got it all listed on there, has it? All educated, that's before. Anyway, you know the idea. But I'm pretty sure there's some way of skipping one level and they will decide to go to uni instead. and they will fill the lower educated jobs. So you can do that. I haven't tested that yet, but it was something someone else was testing.
If a citizen's well-being
Nicole's homeless.
They can become a criminal. Once they become criminals, they start plotting a crime. And the targets of the crime usually are found in areas of high crime probability. When a citizen commits a crime, the police are sent to the location.
Yeah, so there'll be a pool of buildings that their probability of crime is sort of at a low enough level, and then they'll randomly pick from one of those, and that's where the crime gets committed.
To secure the crime scene. If the criminal is still in the premises when the police arrive, they will arrest them. The criminal is then taken to the police station jail, and some of the criminals there will then be sentenced to longer prison time.
Or, if they're not picked up in time, they carry on their life of crime.
In either the prison that is located in the city, or if there is no prison in the city, they are sent to outside connections. After they have served their time, the former criminals return to the society and their criminal status is removed, and they become, again, normal citizens. The citizens have a need for leisure, and there are different options in the city that can provide it. The leisure options
So we're getting the look here at all, well, not all of them, but some of the different options that are available for leisure. Just keep an eye on what he's going to hover over down there.
Include city outdoor and indoor recreation, which includes parks and plazas, as well as different landmarks.
And you'll see as well the bonuses that they give over here.
Sports venues. Then there is shopping, restaurants and bars. And last but not least, there is travel. Citizens...
I was laughing at poor child was walking really funny.
But not least, there is travel.
That's a very long
Citizens
step.
from outside connections can visit your city as tourists. When they arrive, they stay at the hotel, visit different leisure locations, and spend money in shopping areas.
Yeah, so just jumping back again, that one there, that info view is really handy because you know where people are going to want to go. So obviously very high is that sort of green colour. So this place over here, these parks. So that's going to affect how you're going to set out your mass transit as well.
And spend money in shopping areas. This brings additional income to your city. The different leisure options, such as parks and landmarks, increase your city's attractiveness.
So that was a specialised building, I think that one there. So you've got all these different bonuses for the city, which, oh, hang on, arriving dispatching. What is this? The Marvellous Marble. It is a... What are they dispatching? Oh, ambulance and hearse. Beg your pardon. Yeah, it shows those as well. I was thinking, what kind of vehicles are commercial buildings sending in and out that you want to know about? But yeah, it makes sense. So yeah, so it looks like it's a specialised building. You get all these bonuses as well.
Marks increase your city's attractiveness.
Nice camera views and panning going on. We're going to learn more about that next week.
Thanks for watching.
Hey, very good. I can't wait for the cinematic camera one next week. I've started using it myself, and that tool is fantastic. Okay, a little bit more information to share with you. Okay, just some extra information from the written dev diary that you can find on Colossal Order's website. The link's below. And I would say go and have a look at it when you finish watching your videos, because there's a lovely write-up all about the music. I'll talk about that in a moment. But yeah, as you can see, you've got options within your audio settings to change the various sounds and things like that, which is obviously something that we would expect to have. But then going on to the next picture, so talk about the different service buildings all having their own unique sound, and this dynamic audio that changes depending on the camera and when you move around depending on the temperature, the weather, so many different things, and the zones and different zones. And I think when buildings have upgrades attached to them, they have different sounds as well. So many different layers of sound that you can pick up while you're playing. And the next time I play, I'm just going to sit and listen and really try and take in all of these sounds. So yeah, definitely with this picture here, talking about the weather, so the different zones, different weather, and other occurrences as well. So definitely I've heard that with the rain, and I've had tornadoes, I've had snow, and you get all the different sounds with that. But yeah, looking fantastic. So yeah, can't wait to learn more about that. We've got the audio grouping as well, so the distances you are from things, so you're not inundated with too much sound. And also it says the amount of stores directly affects the sound, as well as the amount of traffic and the distance to the traffic as well. We also learnt about dogs, didn't we? You can click on the dogs and they're going to give a little bark, like the people. You click on them and they give a little which I thought is cute. I've missed that one. I don't know whether it wasn't in my version of the game or not, but I thought that was a very interesting addition. And then we've got this chap here, John, I think this is John Valtonen, or Yanni Larksonen. Yeah, this is Jon Valtonen, this one. I had to check who it was. But go and read this, because talking about writing the music, working along with Yanni Larksonen, I apologise if I'm butchering those names, I'm sure I am, but the two of them working together on Cities Skylines 1, and they were asked by Marina from Colossal Orders to come back and do the music for Cities Skylines 2. And it's a really interesting read. How if you like music at all, have any interest in music at all, which I really do have a big interest in music, then read through it on the Colossal Order website. You know, what was their inspiration, what went into it, writing it, creating it, and as you can see from the pictures here, lots of things going on. And if we just go to the next picture here, talking about the menu was the first piece of music that we had to write. And that's the one thing, when I first played Cities Skylines 2 for the second time, if make any sense. So not the old one that I sort of had a try on and they got our feedback on, but when we were given it, I was given it to build that city that we've seen a few times in the Dev Diaries. When you first start it up and that music starts, I was like, well, not just me, a few of us were like, wow, this is just absolutely perfect Cities Skylines 2 music. It just fits in with the aesthetic that goes with the music from Cities Skylines 1. You know, the original music that I absolutely love. And then, of course, you've got all the other radio stations that have been added along the way. And it's great. I've been listening to the music in the game. Really, really enjoying it. And the fact they've got an orchestra, proper orchestra to play at least that music, and another one that's got sort of the themes that pop up at different points through the other music, the other tracks that there are. But yeah, really, really excellent music. So yeah, go and have a read of that. You will thoroughly enjoy it. There's also a picture here of, here we go, look at that, some of the music, the sheet music. So I don't know whether that's going to be made available or not. We can see down the side here for the different instruments: piccolo, flute, oboe, English horn, clarinet, bass clarinet, bassoon, contrabassoon, horns, and there'll be more stuff under there as well. But I found that really interesting. Yeah, there we go. Next is the radio stations. We've mentioned about those. So each of these has two different stations with all sorts of different music that goes on in there. And as we said, we've got the announcements when disaster strikes and all that sort of thing. And that does happen a lot. Forest fires is probably the biggest thing that I get. And until you place down the fire watch towers, so you get the coverage everywhere. But if you just miss one spot, you know, I've got like, say, a city built up here, and I've got like coverage over here from a fire watch tower and over here. But this little spot in the middle, I haven't done it. You'll get fires springing up quite often because I've got natural disasters on just so I can enjoy those. I've had tornadoes as well. Brilliant. And yeah, fire springs up and then the university catches fire and you've got hearses queuing down the road, like I said. So lots and lots of stuff going on. So there we go. What I did there. There we go. So next week is cinematic camera and photo mode, but this Friday, most important, is the footage you've been waiting for, proper Cities Skylines 2 gameplay. So subscribe, be here for that. Oh, I can't wait for you to see it. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed, leave a like and a thumbs up as well, and I will see you all very soon. Take care, have a great day. Bye-bye.